Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Helck episode 5. Episode 5, where the story, proper, quote-unquote, begins, or so it seems. In the previous episode, we finally started a clash between the demons and the humans. The main storyline of the war between those two warring nations, those two warring people, finally begins. And I wanted to say that it's a little late for that, but no, because it gave us a lot of time to get used to our characters, to grow to like them, to grow to care about them, and that really, really matters. Fairly often I see, mostly in manga adaptations of light novel isekai stories, or just original isekai stories in manga form, that the stakes and the main conflict is introduced very, very early. And I find it really hard to care about the characters. I find it really hard to care about their cause, because I just got to know them, and now they are going against the demon lord, and they are dying, and it doesn't really have any impact on me because I just met them. I didn't. I wasn't given a chance to start to even know them, let alone like them, let alone care about them, right? In the case of Helck, we were given the time to grow to like Helck, Vermilio. Who else is there? Hura, of course. The elf guy. The other guy, who is faster than Helck when running. I forgot his name, and he's apparently not listed on any list, which is kind of weird, because even like Senshu A, Senshu B, Senshu C are listed, but not him. Whatever. So, as I said in a previous episode, we got that clash. We learned a lot about the nature of the intruders to the demon realm. They are humans formerly. I mean, they probably are still humans, except they were turned into heroes. So like a higher tier of a human, you could say. Artificial heroes. All of them were given wings, were turned into essentially angels. That raises a question: do all heroes have angel wings, or is it only the process, the artificial process of creating a hero, that gives you the appearance of an angel? Probably the latter. Now, despite their hero status, they are still not really well trained in being a hero, because it's not something that you can learn in just a day or two, or however long they were in this form. So they are still not much of a threat, really, be it to Vermilio or Helck or Hura or anybody else. So that's good. And apparently, as they grow, as they keep fighting demons, they gain experience, they evolve into higher levels of a hero, to use gamified terms. And we of course cannot allow that, because high level heroes will be more dangerous than low level heroes. That much is obvious. Their hate for demons seems almost zealous. So I have to question whether there is some entity that essentially tries to sick humans onto demons. That they realize humans and demons could coexist, sure, They could, absolutely. There is nothing stopping that. But yet they have something to gain from the demon genocide, because that's essentially what it is. Let's call things by their names. So we have some very interesting plot lines created, and I'm excited to follow them, but that's not going to happen fast because Helck and Vermilio were cast away. They were sucked up by a black hole. Not a black hole, it was like a teleportation gate or whatever. They were sucked up by it and thrown onto some island. Inhabited, uninhabited, I don't know, an island somewhere in the middle of the sea. Part of an archipelago. And that kind of takes us out of the main story, and I'm not sure if I like it or not. I guess I will be able to form my opinion after watching this episode, because if them being on this island actually progresses the story, hey, that's great. If them being on an island is essentially a mini arc, if it's a side quest, then I'm not gonna be all too happy about it, I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, let's not, uh, let's not predict things that haven't happened, because I might really like the island arc. Who knows? And we won't know if I like it or not. We won't know if there is anything to like unless we watch it. So how about we do exactly that? How does that sound? To watch this episode of Helck, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support me monetarily on Patreon down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching Helck episode 5 in 3, 2, 1, go. Yep, last time on Dragon Ball Z, as always. Right, Edil is some old friend of Helck, or subordinate, or fellow knight trainee, or something along those lines. See, I really appreciate even more the way Zom 100 does recaps. The recap of the previous episode is part of the opening, and I honestly like that. I wish more shows did that. Because sure, it's not particularly much time we lost, like 20 something seconds, but still. I was considering what should I watch today, seeing how it's fairly late. I'm kind of tired, kind of sleepy, so it's not the best state to be watching and commentating and doing any sort of creative work like that, with words especially. I was wondering if I should maybe watch something lighter. I don't know, Atelier Aiza, Nanatsu no Makenga, or something like that. But no, I'm up to date with Helck. I wouldn't want to break that, you know. Every time Helck, new episode of Helck comes out, I watch it, I release it on the next day. Why break the streak? The remote island village. So we have our answer. It is not an uninhabited island. Yeah, someone probably should keep their cool. It's not gonna be Asdora. Azdra. Oh, and she has a hoodie with horns. Yep. Welcome to the human realm. I really like that plot point of demons living in an absolute hellhole and actually wanting an out, actually wanting clean water, clean air. Someone's chiseling some stone. Why are you smelling it? Is Helck like chiseling some? Oh, he's building a house. Okay, sure. Might as well. That was fast. A deformed chicken. A deformed talking chicken. Hello, Helck. Nah. Nah. Oh, are birds the inhabitants of this island? I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Our home. True, makes sense. Okay. Superhuman feats again. Can't you build a boat? Now you're glad he built a home. Or a house. And Thunder is gonna scare her? No, we're not going for that. We're just gonna grab her. I'm gonna be taking my lolly and living. Classic. Yep. Motivational speech. Yeah, I was about to say that was fast. Yeah. Yep, or to leave you stranded and just build a boat himself? He is. He's everybody's ally, essentially. He wants to make the world as a whole a better place. Someone got isekai'd who has that skill? Yeah, a single human was enough to win the war. If you have more heroes than one, that's gonna be a problem. I guess it makes sense. You really need like the head of the country. She is kind of a stand-in demon lord, I'm assuming. Or a regent or something like that. I was about to say, don't you have any locator spells? How roughly? She cut her hair. And he probably kept a log of it. Because of course he would. Of course he did. Oh, okay, that's nice. So it's like an advanced Ouija board. It's off the map. Yeah, your map is kinda shit. It only covers a single continent. You really need a world map. I mean, at least you know a rough direction, right? You can just send a search party in that rough direction. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a whole swarm. I like how they are just randomly floating around the castle instead of, just being stationed. Although I guess if I suddenly grew wings, I probably would also just fly around the place, not standing on solid ground. And what the fuck are you? he's not on the side of war. He's on the side of peace. That's how I would describe it. I mean, he probably would just openly tell you what his intentions are. True, it is a plausible scenario. And it's gonna get away. Or maybe not. And the rod breaks. Or, yeah, the string. Heroic leap to catch fish barehanded. Yeah, I've no clue what it is. What are you? Also, where did Helck get all those linens from? And glass? And pajamas, apparently. I guess maybe if you punch sand hard enough, it turns into glass? Probably. And who the fuck are you? Yeah. Okay, that answers some of our questions at least. Like that, you just teleport between frames. That's how you get down. Yeah, it's a peaceful land full of weird shit. I thought it's a village of like his people, but no, every single villager is different. I mean, he probably is like 300 or something. No, he just started building the boat. It's really as simple as that. You don't need to overthink. My leg fell asleep. Come on. Okay. I need to change position. And cut down in one fell swoop. He can just go Minecraft Steve. Exactly. Just punch the trees. That didn't quite work. Oh, that's a really nice music in the background. That's a really nice track. Hmm. Oh, sunken ruins. Well, color me interested. Hmm. It's just a raft. Whomst. Village chief. Okay, that's it. Not an awful lot happened this episode. It was mostly Vermilio just warming up to Helck, which I guess is like something that we should see in the show, something that should have happened sooner or later. Hmm. I'm not sure what to think of the pace of this show, you know? On one hand, I don't mind it that each episode essentially covers just one thing, or like maybe two or three, but closely related. But on the other, I mean, it's episode 5. We are nearing the halfway point, and I'm afraid that because of the slower pacing, the ending might be rushed. It's just, my no, 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 no. Oh, spoilers. Spoilers. Don't want to see no spoilers. There we go. Okay. Uh what was I talking about? Pacing. Yeah. I forgot. Doesn't matter. It probably wasn't that important if I instantly forgot what I was talking about. Okay, how about we do something more important and watch this episode again, shall we? Yeah, I was talking about pacing, that I'm not sure how the ending, how the finale of this series will be. Is it gonna be rushed? Is it not gonna be rushed? Hopefully not gonna be rushed, but who knows. Um, I wanna check out, just in case, how many episodes is Helck scheduled to have? 24. Okay. Hey, my fears have been completely alleviated right now. 24 episodes, perfect. Okay, sign me up. I have no fear. Keep it a slow burn. Absolutely, no worries. No worries whatsoever. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm happy. I was really afraid that if it was 12 episodes, they just wouldn't be able to do. They either wouldn't be able to do much with the series, and it would end with a wet fart of a finale, or they would have to skip like 3 arcs to show us some, good finale, or they would have to rush the last 3 episodes, as is often the case. But no, 24 episodes means they will have the time to do everything they set off to do. Probably, hopefully. They have a chance at least. Whether they use that chance or not, that depends, but a chance exists. Mm-hmm. Yeah, clean air, clean water, no toxin whatsoever. A perfect place to live. I wonder, probably not something that would happen within the span of the show, within the span of the adaptation. But I wonder if in the source material, it would be cool if Helck just settled down on this island in this house. Just came to me randomly. It's the first really nice place that he found, that he built a house, and he might just come back here. Perhaps with Vermilio, who knows? Maybe they can use it as their summer retreat or something. But it would be very nice to see this house again in the future. It's an island, so we can't easily escape. And yeah, I really like that Vermilio, all things considered, is very logical in everything she comes up with. Even in all her theories about Helck being evil, there's logic in it. There is actual logic in it. She's not a hater for the sake of being a hater. Like, you sometimes have characters like that in media who hate the protagonist no matter what. The protagonist helps them. Sorry, I bumped the mic. Helps them, saves their life, but the character is still like, oh no, the protagonist is evil. It's often in this kind of a character appears often in media. That's what I wanted to say. Vermilio isn't like that. At the first glance, she is. But only because we, the viewers, know that Helck isn't evil. At least we suppose, because we can't know that. Helck, all things considered, is still a very mysterious person, after all. But as far as Vermilio is concerned, Helck could actually be a danger. He could actually, like, destroy the demon realm if he wanted to. So, of course, he thinks of him that way, but she isn't blindsided by it. She doesn't have a tunnel vision to Helck is evil. She sees that he could have just run away from the island without me, left me stranded, and I wouldn't be able to get out. He could have just killed me. I was, I was out of it for who knows how long. He could have just strangled me or whatever, ripped me apart, probably, but he didn't. He built the house and brought me here. He could have left me outside. So he's probably not my personal enemy. Is he an enemy of the demon realm, though? Of the demon race? That is a question. I like that she actually applies some reasoning to it, and that she actually changes her mind. She could really easily fall into the modern tsundere trap of just being incorrigible, but she doesn't, and I really appreciate it. Was a genius spellcaster born in the human realm, or is it something else? That's a good question, actually, that I didn't think of. I didn't really wonder about how did humans gain access to heroification. Is it the results of long-term research? Is it... Could they have used Helck's brother? Maybe. After he fulfilled his role as a hero, they used him for research and researched the process of heroification, and that's why Helck is so angry at humans. There is some merit, I feel, to this line of thinking. So how about we note that down? Where are you, Helck? There you are. There you are. Helck's brother was experimented on to develop heroification process. Seems plausible, at least. Or it could be a genius spellcaster, sure. Or it could be just, Japanese salaryman isekai'd into this world with the knowledge of alchemy or whatever. I don't know. Probably not, though. And yeah, if the humans manage to fully mature into heroes, we're gonna be fucked. So, we send a search party for Vermilio. He's thinking of searching for Vermilio because he's this much of a Vermilio con, I guess, for lack of a better word. But also, Vermilio is extremely powerful caster, so she will be a huge asset, and she is at least seems to be, the leader-ish of the demons, while there is no demon lord. I wonder if it's like a council of Vermilio and some other demon generals or whatever, or is it like Vermilio standing kind of on top, kind of like a queen regent or something along those lines. But despite the motivations of what he wants to do, it actually makes a shocking amount of sense. Wait, let me bring back the list of characters. Asdora. Asdora. Okay. Who knows how many years it could take to find Vermilio. Thankfully, we have a location spell that uses... sorry. A part of a body. Like her. I love that Vermilio thought of safeguarding her hair with burn spell. She knew what Asdra is gonna try to do. Of course she knew. And she was located outside of your realm. You really should have used the world map. It seems like a very, simple oversight that she went into a portal that leads to who the fuck knows where, and you just pulled up a map of your own realm, assuming that. I mean, even assuming that it went to the world of humans, to like their barracks or whatever, because that's probably where that wormhole would originate if humans were hoping to send their troops through it. You should assume that the starting point of it is somewhere in the human realm. I mean, it's quite obvious, and even with this figurine being outside of your map, you at least know around where to look for her. So you go to the edge of your realm and you just go where that figurine would be, and you will probably find her sooner or later. So it's not a completely hopeless situation either. Winged Knights were human after all, indeed hero status. And yeah, I really this entire episode essentially is just Vermilio warming up to Helck, right? Thinking of all the ways he could have shown himself to be a villain but didn't. Didn't raise a finger, and also on the contrary, right? All those things he did for demons that would speak that he's our ally, but on the other hand, he didn't attack the Winged Knights. He even saved one of them, right? So what's the deal with that? She actually puts her head to a good use. Why protect the Winged Knights? Right? And do I just ask him? We know that she probably could, and Helck would probably be very open about his goals, but she doesn't know that. And this vision is entirely plausible that if she asks, then Helck will know that she suspects something, so he just kills her because she knows too much. So of course this is the worst case scenario, absolutely. Never give up. And this just random guy with uh all of those designs of non-humans mostly really remind me of like 90s early 2000s anime. Like this design would really not be out of place in like Dragon Ball, would it? It really would not be out of place. And the sparkly eyes, it's like I don't know, kind of shoujo y, but not really. Unsettling design, I'm not gonna lie. And the voice, the accent to add to that. This is great. No, a little later. He's so happy that he can see his house That's a really cool spot, yo! You can see my house! This I really liked. How do we get down from here? That's how. Magic of editing. You just switch between frames and you are down there. I really, really like it. And all those sorts of different, weird, wild designs. Like those guys on the left, they wouldn't be out of place in fucking Moomins. Right? They really wouldn't be out of place. It's such a mishmash of designs. It's wild. It's almost like a demon village, right? Because demons are also very, very varied. You don't have a single formula that a demon has two horns and a warm skin tone, orange, purple, red, or something along those lines, right? Demons are also very varied. They might have horns, they might not have horns. They could be green, blue, or purple. They could have wings or not have wings, tails or no tails, right? Humans are fairly uniform, all things considered. Those creatures are entirely varied as well, which is interesting. I wonder if it's some sort of a demon enclave inside of human territory, or is it just fantasy creatures that live in the same village for some reason. It's very, very fairy tale. Very, very fairy tale. In a way where it doesn't have to be explained. Right? Like, it doesn't need an explanation that, oh, this guy is a member of the Ungura race, and I know those. This is the Mambul, and those two weird creatures with yellow antenna are Argolos or whatever, right? It doesn't need that sort of an explanation. Those are fantasy guys that look in very fantasy ways, very fairy tale ways, and they just live together in a village, dancing around mushrooms every day, and it's just how it is. And that's also another way that it reminds me of like 90s, 80s, even anime, where things weren't being over explained, right? It feels nowadays in modern media, not just anime, but mostly like anime, manga, light novels, that everything tries to be very like hard sci-fi, hard fantasy, where everything is somehow, somehow segregated, put into neat boxes, labeled. Right, this is a creature that's named like that, and they do this and this and that, and live there and there. And this is a member of a race such and such, and they have sharp ears and pointy tongues, etc., etc. Meanwhile, in like the early 90s era, in the 90s era in general, and early 2000s even a little bit, things like that were not really all that often explained. Like, take the more fantastical Studio Ghibli movies, for example. There is not really any, like, race of Totoros that is described with their characteristics, and you could have a wiki page describing what the fuck Totoros are, and all of that is contained within the show. You know? There's Totoro, and cool, Totoro, fantastical creature, let's go on whimsical adventure. And you don't need anything more. And Helck very much feels like that as well, with the demon designs, with those monster designs. I don't need to know what this chicken is. It's a fantastical, whimsical guy. Whoop-de-doo, let's go fly away towards the moon on a broomstick. How? I don't know, doesn't matter. What's the name of the spell? There is no spell. That broom just fucking flies. That's all there is to it. I really like it. And of course, Helck is cutting down trees. And he doesn't need an axe. Ruins. I fucking love ruins. I love past civilization. I love dilapidated ruins. I love it. I'm really enjoying Atelier Ryza because ruins. Now that I know there are ruins in Helck, I'm gonna enjoy it even more because that means there was some lost civilization living here. And with Vermilio saying that it stirs some memory inside of her, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. I wonder if it means that there was a time where humans and the demons lived in harmony. But then something happened and they no longer did. I wonder. Uh, Humans and demons used to live in harmony. I wonder. Comparing to the house, this is not really a great boat, is it? It's just a raft, and it seems like it would even like bend in water because there's no like cross bracing to those bales of wood. So you should have spent less time building the house and more time building the boat. Honestly, this is not seaworthy. This is not seaworthy. And a village chief appears. Initially, I thought he's some sort of a rat, like Master Splinter, but no, he's like a weird dude that tries to be menacing but can be one shot by Helck. So, yeah, this overgrown swords. It really evokes an image of like a past civilization. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. That was episode 5 of Helck, and it was cool. Especially now that I know this series is 24 episodes. If I didn't know that, or if the series was 12 episodes, I would criticize this episode for how little it does, how little it progresses the main story, how much of a side note of an episode it is. But because I know that we do have the time for a slow burn, it completely changes my outlook. This episode had one singular purpose and one singular purpose only. That purpose was for Vermilio to grow. Or rather, to be more precise, for Vermilio's image of Helck to develop. She doesn't trust him entirely and fully quite yet, but she starts asking questions. She starts seeing that it's not that simple that Helck is a human, so he's an enemy. She starts noticing that he's done so many things to help them, to help the demons, and that he could have gotten rid of Vermilio without a problem, but he didn't. So there must be something to him, there must be some truth to what he says. On the other hand, though, he doesn't really go all out against humans either. So you can't really say that his proclamation of let's kill all humans is true either. If it was true, he would jump at the first opportunity to just massacre all those angels, but he didn't. So Vermilio went from the point where she sees Helck as a threat to demons to the midpoint where she's not quite sure. where she, she moved her view of Helck. And I really like that. Because as I mentioned, we have way too many characters who are very hard set in their ways of thinking, who just come to hate a character and just their entire personality, their entire character becomes hating that character, hating the protagonist, for example. Way too many. Way too many. Mostly modern tsunderes, but not only. I'm glad. I'm really glad that Vermilio breaks out of that trope. That she actually uses her head. For the first few episodes, I was afraid it's not going to be the case. That she's going to be essentially a modern tsundere. This episode entirely obliterated my fears, obliterated my issues with her. I now know where it's going, and I really like this direction, and I really like the execution. With the introduction of the ruins, I'm even more sold on Helck than I already was, and that's saying something because I already was sold on this show. Anything else that needs mentioning? I'm not sure. I'm not sure because ultimately this episode was just Vermilio thinking about Helck, and not really much more to that. So I don't think there is any point in me keeping you here any longer than it is necessary. And I also feel like I was, like I've been overdoing it with my episodes recently, going almost an hour and a half every time. So I guess a couple of shorter episodes, still nearly an hour, but shorter in my, my standards. I think it's gonna do all of us good. And if I need to mention anything that I forgot to mention here, I can always do that in the next episode, so it's not a problem. But right now, maybe you guys have something to say that I forgot to mention, that I missed or misinterpreted or whatever. Say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please. Spoilers, go to my Discord here and here in the description. It's also linked, and there's a help channel that you can use. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel somewhere down below to be notified of future releases of not only Helck, but also Zom 100 Nanatsu no Makengashi Hai Suru, Atelier, Raiza, and Undead Girl Murder Farce, and more coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes gacha games, sometimes Gunpla, so click the bell icon to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB Without the Net, Fruit Rainer, Aquamancer, Fassel, Dr. Watt, Marsh, Yuki Ally, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without the need to escape an island.